With snow and freezing temperatures in May, it felt a little like winter was never going to end. But alas, the grass is fading from brown to green, and I think we have finally made it to the other side. The seasonal birds are all returning from wherever it was that they ran off to, and I swear, in the spring and summer, I feel like the sky is just a little more blue. And the evenings have all become a little bit louder with the bugs and the birds and the spring peepers. I really like the spring peepers. It's like every day they get together and they have a little frog party and sing and dance. At least that's what I imagine them doing. Life with animals during the winter is humbling. It's not meant for the weak. It takes hard work and grit, and no matter how you're feeling or how nasty and harsh the weather is, you still have to go and care for them. In a way, it awakens something primal within. Like, we're just out here, surviving, and getting through it. And something about that is really special too. But needless to say, when spring rolls around, it's like a giant breath of fresh air. And I wonder if that's how a lot of things feel after the winter. Like the flowers and the grass and all the trees blooming. It's as if they're awakening from a deep, deep sleep and they're just so excited to wake up and feel the sun again and start life anew. Like they get a whole new chance to do it all again. Reflecting on the colder months, a lot of things have changed. I've always felt a bit like a nomad, never here nor there, good at many things, but a master at nothing. And to be honest, I've always loved it that way, being able to adapt and change and go where the wind takes me. But I began to feel like I wanted some direction in life. The thought of, what am I doing with my life? became really daunting. Ever since I was a little kid, I've had this dream of working with and training horses. I started riding when I was around 7 or 8, and I would walk the neighbors' dogs to pay for my riding lessons. Since then, I haven't gone probably a week without working with a horse, and now I have 2 of my own horses and a mini donkey. I've always had a really deep understanding and connection with animals, and when I work with horses, I feel the most myself. Straight out of high school, I started working on different ranches and training other people's horses, and I did that for about 8 years until I developed my own training style, and I realized that I wasn't really able to train horses how I wanted to, working for other people. There were a lot of methods that I disagreed with, but I found that people weren't always open-minded to trying something different when they already had a predetermined way or method of how horses should be trained. So my new dream is to release some courses of my own and make an ebook eventually, and forge my own path in the horse industry. My goal is to reach people that want to truly connect and have a partnership with their horse rather than forcing the horse to do things. I'm also excited to keep making these videos and really showcase how beautiful a life with horses is. Taking the whole crew out for a trail ride is one of my absolute favorite things. It makes me feel like we're just a bunch of little hobbits out on this big, grand adventure. I try to go on a ride like this at least once a week and just get the horses out and about and feeling free, I'm also incredibly lucky to live right next to National Forest where I have the freedom to ride for miles and miles and I never have to worry about running into anybody. The forest has always felt like home to me. It's a place to play, a place to recenter, and it's like the trees are your friends. And if we listen, I think they have the answers to a lot of things. Weaver was in the wild for 7 years before her capture, so seeing her run and be free on these rides is truly a beautiful sight. I find peace knowing my animals are allowed to be animals, to express themselves fully and authentically. If I'm not riding one of the horses, then I'll just hike with them out here too. I think it's really important to designate time to ask nothing of your horse and just hang out, like have a little play date. Last week when I was riding Weaver, she bucked me off twice. It was my first time getting bucked off her, but also she is very new to riding. So this week we worked on a lot of groundwork. She's a really smart and active girl, and she picks up on things super, super quickly. So I've actually decided to do some trick training alongside with Liberty work. When I first brought Weaver home, it took probably like 3 months before I could even touch her. And then eventually we established a level of trust, and then I moved on to handling her feet. And she really, really struggled with me trimming her feet. She would sometimes do okay, and then other times she would just have these huge blow-ups. So my goal became to boost her confidence and just like let her know that it's okay and she didn't need to panic. And one of the things that really helped with that was just getting her to lift each individual leg, and then I would grab her foot from there. Once Weaver was captured, she spent 2 years in a holding pen, and there to trim their feet, they put them in this chute and flip them sideways and then tie up their feet and grind them down. And I know that sounds really inhumane, but it's actually a lot better than the alternative, which is to let their feet get overgrown. Unfortunately, it probably caused a lot of trauma though with getting her feet done. So by doing things at Liberty and by having her lift up her own legs, I felt like I was giving her some of her power back, and she doesn't feel the need to panic anymore. So it's pretty cool. So I've also just been doing some random fun stuff with her, some desensitizing. She's still a little bit flighty, so I want to make sure that she's very confident before I start riding her again. I think that's why she bucked me off the other day, just because she went into panic mode and didn't know what to do. So I don't want us to run into that situation again. Sometimes I daydream about what life was like for her in the wild and what her role was in the herd and how she acted and the terrain that she walked over and the things that she saw. I have also been working with Trout, and he is the sweetest boy. He's such a good boy, but he's definitely not halter trained, and so I've been working on leading and getting him used to that. He actually picks up on things super fast, and I think I want to get into trick training with him as well. I think he would really have fun with it. I did just order him a new halter too. It's been really hard finding one to actually fit him. But this one is specifically made for mini horses, so I'm assuming it's gonna fit his cute little head. Okay, and you guys, I have an idea that eventually I would really love to train him how to drive, and I just think it would be the cutest thing to have him pulling a little cart. I think he would really enjoy it, and it would also be a great form of exercise for him. Alright, so I am wrapping up this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I am really excited to keep making content. And yeah, it's gonna be a little journey full of horses and nature and good stuff. So I'll catch you guys next time. Bye now.